Media. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We got lots of stuff coming up. All right. Let's get into this as soon as the screen pops up. I hope folks can hear me. And if you can't hear me, thank you for being patient, and thank you for joining us. We are back. We are sorted through the technical difficulties, and then we got one person and we lost another one. So hopefully we get Abdullah. It looks like Nate and Ahmad got on the front, and we dropped Abdullah. I told him to ease off the pace. But we'll pull over, and we'll get some water, have a rest break, get some donuts, and while Abdullah catches back up, and then we could get back on it. So my name is Dennis Luby. This is Say With Your Legs Media. Thank you for tuning in and joining in, and we're getting this thing started. I got some amazing stuff that I'm going to be doing in the future. I hope that you come with me on this journey. My long-term goal is to open up an international youth cycling academy, which I will definitely do, and my main goal will be to pull riders from the Caribbean and African countries that don't have access, and also I'll be over to the U.S. looking for like kids that want to do more than what they see inside of the U.S. So it should bring some diversity, and my thing is not just because you look different, you gotta want to do the sport, and we can develop the talent. That's not a problem, because this is probably, like, when you're starting to get near the top tier of the sport, one of the hardest sports to do in the world. But I was a stickler for punishment and pain, so I loved it. I just loved every minute of it. So I don't know, the harder the better. If it's easy, I tend to like fall asleep and not be interested in it. So anyway, we're gonna get on with it, and we got Nate and Donna all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. We got Ahmad all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. And Abdullah's out there somewhere. He'll catch up. He'll catch up. But he probably took a wrong turn somewhere, because Arizona's a big place. So anyway. And then, okay, cool. Let's get on with it. I actually sort of introduced everybody already. And Nate and Donna introduced themselves earlier. These guys have been riding forever. And I'm going to jump to Ahmad and let him introduce himself and tell us a bit about him. How you get started in cycling? And
well, just like Nate, I began when I was 8 or 9 years old also. But I became a little more serious in the 70s when I heard about this guy by the name of Eddie Merckx. When I began to realize how many races Eddie Merckx had won, his style, that's when I began to not only ride more, but I began to read about the history of cycling. I know about the Tour de France. I wanted to know about the Tour of Italy, Tour of Spain, and Liège, Bastogne, Liège, and all the other those five monument races that are there. So when I take on a sport, it's not just for the sport itself, but I want to know who the big names are. If I was a basketball fan, I'd probably want to know about I can't even think of the big guy's name right now because I'm not a basketball fan.
Yeah.
So that's why. And then when I met Nate and Donna, that took it to another level, because I'm the elder. I'm 75 years old. So they always treat me with a lot of respect and all, and I appreciate that.
You don't even look 75. It's not. I would have never thought that.
Thank you. Black don't crack.
You know what's funny? I work for a guy. He's from, is it from Algeria? I think he's from Algeria. And so he's African, but he's white African. And then I got to work yesterday, and so I just jumped out of the shower, and I just pulled my jean leg up and said, oh my goodness, I need some lotion. So I started lotioning and stuff, and it's like, you do that all the time? I said, yeah, of course you do that all the time. And then it's like, what happens to a tree if you don't water it? It dries out. It's like, that's why other people, like, this is what people of color do. We moisturize, we keep our skin, and that's why people say it's not that the black don't crack, it's because we look after our skin. So and that's and he's like,
Right.
that's not true. I got a friend that I know from Jamaica. I'm gonna ask him. So now you're calling me a liar. So we work together. We've been friends for long. You're calling me a liar. I knew you didn't like me, so I was like, I was just giving him a hard time. So, but yeah, that's funny that you say that, and segue into some weird story. um,
Yeah.
do you want to disconnect from? No, I don't. Let me plug up. My one thing when you have Apple devices, they talk to one another. So saying that my phone battery is low. There we go. I need to put that on charge so we don't lose connection. But anyway, so yeah, Ahmad. So you talking my language, like you're talking about Eddie Merckx, you're talking about Liège, Bastogne Liège, and all the big races and stuff. So we could talk it a little bit, but before we do that, we're gonna we just wanted to talk about like Arizona, the riding in Arizona. Like if people was to come to Arizona, what's where would you take them first? What's like a must ride place, or not even a must ride place, but a place that I like. I'm coming to Arizona, and this is what you need to see. Where would you
You know,
point that person?
I would select a variety of places. If you wanted to do the roads, there's a ride that we have. We haven't done it in a while because it's been too hot, where we ride around South Mountain. It's about 55 to 60 miles. But
Mm-hmm.
like you alluded to before, you could do mile after mile on the canals and never encounter a vehicle your whole time. So I would say that you have a balance of both. Arizona is a lovely state. Politically, it's effed up, no doubt about that. But for our riding purposes, it's really nice. And as they said earlier, to ride in the summertime, you got to be out by 4 or 5 o'clock. You have to hydrate and you have to become acclimated to the heat as much as you can. I'll ride up until about 95 degrees. When it gets above that, I'm
Mm.
inside because it's just unbearable. And already this year, over 200 homeless people have died because of
Wow.
the heat. Over
Wow.
200. That's intense heat. Living under a bridge,
Wow.
living in a tunnel, you need an abatement from the heat, and it just doesn't happen. So they die.
Yeah. Probably just like water. Just oh my goodness, I can't even imagine that. That's it's probably painful as well too. To come to think of it, like so.
It's
Anyway,
like the Sahara,
yeah,
Sahara Desert.
yeah. It is in the
Harry and
desert, so that's pretty wild. So,
It's,
go ahead.
I mentioned Valley of the Sun, and the sun is torturous here during the middle of the day, 110, 115. But I also mentioned that some of us that don't want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning will stay up till midnight at night and ride in the dark. So even though the temperatures may be up over 100 still after the sun has gone down,
Mm-hmm.
the intensity of the sun is lessened, and that adds to an enjoyable ride. So we did a 4th of July, and then we did a Labor Day ride at midnight.
Okay.
And we just had a ball. It was wonderful. We got out there for 30 miles, and then we wanted to go 40 miles. And the next thing we know, we were talking about a metric century. So, yeah, the sun is the culprit during the summer. The heat is another thing, and that you can easily prepare for by hydrating. The
Okay.
sun is another thing.
Right.
The intensity of the sun and the heat, that's a whole nother story.
you
Okay.
have to drink water.
Yeah. Yeah, so hydration is
Every
number one. Just to even get from your house to the car, you need to make sure you're hydrated. We have, as Ahmad may have mentioned, people, we've had a number of deaths just due to the intensity of the heat.
Mm-hmm.
But the sun added to that is definitely not just the people, but animals suffer tremendously too. So hydration is important all the time.
So, um, yeah, on like okay, I'll continue on with that. Like, so that's pretty intense. I was just thinking about like I actually did a race that was in upstate New York, was going through a heat wave, and the temperature was 108, and it was 105 miles. I actually finished that race. Actually, 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 because I had been riding and training at home on my island where the heat was pretty intense all the time. So it was good for me. I actually enjoyed it. I never seen so many people suffer. I think we started with almost 200 guys and finished with 20. So but yeah, that was
Wow.
So yeah, it was pretty intense. So like when I was younger, heat was definitely like heat is still my thing. I live in the UK and I just don't cope well with the cold. It's rough for me. So like this right
You
now,
say you
like
don't cope with the cold.
not at all, not at all. So I can race in any condition. It could be snowing. It could be I can race. Like once you're racing and the intensity's up, it's totally different. But like to just do a regular ride or just be nah, it's another world. So what's your longest ride?
Well, my
200
longest ride's
miles
about
in one
110
ride.
miles.
You mean longest ride that we do here?
No,
No.
just
As a group or in our, go
individuals.
ahead.
Yeah, 200
I've
miles.
done
I've done the
110.
Seattle to Port.
Mm.
200 on a tandem.
How long you
Yeah,
guys been
we
riding?
pulled Imani since 1978.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Imani in a second. What's your longest ride, Ahmad?
About 110 miles.
110 miles. And what was that like? Was it a flat
Yeah.
ride? Was it mountainous?
No, it wasn't. It was a there's a Phoenix Metro Bike Club. They do a ride. They do a century every year. And when I finished doing that 100, me and some others warmed down with a 10-mile ride. So that's how it became 110 miles.
That's
Phoenix Metro Bike Club.
That's an impressive warm down. 10 miles. Because after 100-mile ride, even a 50-mile ride, I'm like, okay, now it's feet up, chilling. As much as I love riding, once I'm finished, I'm not trying to do no.
Yeah,
So-
we just warmed down to talk about the ride and all.
Okay. All right. So anything else you want to like tell me about like Phoenix, like, any events you guys got coming up, any that happens annually that you guys do that you think people should come and check out, chime in on?
Well, the bike club
Um,
is in, I don't know how do I put it, not in recognition of, in acknowledgement of my turning 75, November 15th. We're doing a metric 75 mile race,
Mhm.
75K.
Right.
And that's something that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, a lot of riders will come out and support that. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to the club. And it means a lot that we're acknowledging and we appreciate each other's presence, whether they're 22
Right.
years old or 75 years old. It doesn't matter. We all share a common affection for two wheels, and that's a joy. That's going to be a lot of fun. So that's what's coming up. And I know Donna and Nate, they probably have some other rides that they could mention too.
Oh yeah.
Nate?
We have, so Ahmad's ride is one of our special rides, and we'll do that. We have a couple of fallen cyclists. They didn't fall on the cycle, but we've lost them since joining
Mhm.
our club. And so annually we have the Terry Dogan Memorial Ride. We're on our 4th year of it. I think next year we'll make the 4th year we've done it, but
4 years.
it'll be our second signature ride. So that is a ride that we're planning to do annually to raise a charitable function where we'll raise money to support the Major Taylor Association, the Major Taylor Alliance, and some of our local charities here that we want to give to. So we're actually having a meeting in the next day or so where we'll put that planning committee together.
Yeah.
That one, when we did it last year, it was our first year. We had about 30 riders come out, which we were just really proud of. We had a 3-day event. The donut ride was Friday. Saturday was the signature ride, and Sunday was South Mountain, Terry's Climb, we called it. And anybody who would go up on the mountain was awarded a Terry sticker. So that's
Okay.
an annual ride that we hope will grow over the years. It'll be in March of every year, and we found March to be a likable time because the other
temperature.
clubs, our temperatures are changing, they're getting warmer, but the other clubs aren't able to ride. The clubs nationally aren't able to ride like we are all year.
Yeah.
So we see an opportunity to have folks travel, come to Arizona, check out the Phoenix area as well as the Tucson area. We hope to connect at least one day of riding with down in Tucson. So that's going to be March of 2024 will be our first really announced. It's been on the Alliance's records for a while, but we really haven't advertised it. This will be the first year that we'll really advertise and hopefully bring the cycling community of Phoenix together and the major Taylor clubs that want to come out and do some cycling preseason. You know, because most of the other clubs, the East Coast clubs, they don't start riding again until March, April, when the weather starts to ease up a little bit and they don't have snow and can at least ride in the rain. Here, that's some of our best riding. Our best riding is all through February and March. So I see that as a successful venture. The other thing that we do commonly, we have 2 venues every year, and one of them is we do something during Black History. And this last year and this year coming up, 2024, we've been going to Palm Springs and riding with Nelson Bells and the Major Taylor Los Angeles group. Put on a really nice Black History program during the Tour de Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also, in November, we join and go to LA and do the birthday ride, the Major Taylor birthday ride, the weekend of Thanksgiving. There's a number of cyclists that pack up and go. So as I said, our big signature ride will be our first attempt to do something that brings in riders from all over the country and definitely locally. And then, as Ahmad mentioned, we do special rides here and there commemorating friends or birthdays. And Ahmad, being our oldest male rider, we're honoring him this year with his 75th birthday, and we're gonna make it a great ride.
That's awesome, man. 75 and you 70. That's awesome. That's awesome. That, I mean, wait. Let me do this. I got something for you, Ahmad. Hold on a second. Let me if I get this right. I'm so slow with this, man. I'm just like, Ahmad, I'm slipping. Come on, man. Come on, Mr. Luby. Here we go. This is for you, Ahmad. Yeah. I think you can't hear it. His screen's frozen. Yeah, it's a little bit late. Yeah, he did hear.
He heard it.
In the screen, I got like pictures below. Those pictures are in Arizona. Those is at the bottom of like Mount Lemmon, going up to Mount Lemmon, and obviously up on Mount Lemmon. And like I was saying earlier, I heard so much about this climb, talking to Caesar, and Imani and other people, like, you know, like, believe it or not, George Tapley telling me about Mount Lemmon.
Yep.
And so I had to get out there and give it a go. So, and I think it was like March or April or something like that, because it was the temperature was definitely, it wasn't hot, you know, it was getting sort of cool when it got near the top. So I can't even remember what month it was. Is that again?
Really that year, I think that year it was actually either April or May that you guys did that. You started, because that's 8,000 feet elevation gain. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So by the time you got to the top, it probably was 65, 70 degrees.
Yeah.
But at the bottom, when you guys got down, it was probably a little warm.
Yeah. It was really warm at the bottom, but then it did get quite cool as the air got near the top. So I mean, like I said, like that was just an amazing, like you were saying, like, you're trying to get riders in that time of the year, and it is absolutely perfect. It is I think you have the makings for probably having the most weather friendly, and just like the roads are amazing. But the only thing coming down Mount Lemmon was a bit rough. It was a bit rough in some places coming down. So like, I guess that's because, during the winter, like, maybe the trucks are coming down with the snow chains, or the cars with the snow thing. So the roads get a bit chopped up a bit. But yeah, other than that, man, it was an amazing place to be and to ride a bike. So folks, if you get a chance to visit Arizona, and once Major Taylor Phonix gets their thing going, it should be definitely a place, a must, definitely. I say a must. But the weird thing is that once I get my like once that time of the year, I'm going to be in Europe covering the pro races And so hopefully I have Ahmad as a fan follow me as I'm talking to some of the lesser known
Might even
riders.
go with
So yeah, so that's what I'll be doing
Certainly.
that time of the year. So, but yeah, I'm gonna say thank you to you guys. Unless you got anything else you want to say, Ahmad, I want you to stay on because I want to.
Yes, yes. Certainly, certainly. What I'm planning to do next July is be in Paris for the Tour de France. I want to attend one of those mountain stages. I don't want the
Okay.
flat stages because they go by too fast. But the mountain stages, they're stretched out, and hopefully somebody will throw me a water bottle because that's my goal, to get an empty water bottle from one of the professional cyclists.
Okay, hold on a second, Ahmad. Don't go anywhere. We're not. So
Right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let Nate and Donna get in the last words before I let them take off, and then I'm gonna just resume the show with just Ahmad and myself. So anything else you want to parting words you want to say? Firstly, thank you for tuning for coming up and having a conversation with me.
No, thank you
Oh, it was a pleasure.
for the invitation, and Abdullah for making sure that we all knew about it.
Thank you. And next time, hopefully, we could get Imani up here because we haven't spoken in a while. So
Yeah, he's working for
a track
bicycle shop here in the local area, so he's pretty busy.
Okay. So it would have been cool if he could have just chimed in from the shop and we could have seen like the action.
Yeah, we tried to
I was trying. He's probably gonna text me or has a text on there. I can't, but I tried to get him in. So
yeah,
we'll let him know he was missed.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna drop you guys down, and once again, thank you. Definitely appreciate you. And you guys, I mean, you guys are pioneers in the sport, and I'm pretty sure there's things that you've done or places you've been, and you probably broken a few like barriers and stuff, or you broken through a few barriers that allowed for others to be able to enjoy the sport. And I'm gonna say thank you now because nobody knows what anybody's contributed, and we all contribute something. So I'm gonna say thank you now.
True.
That's right. Every time we turn a pedal.
Definitely. All righty.
Right.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And there goes Nate and Donna. And now I'm just gonna we got Ahmad. I'm gonna get rid of all of these crazy pictures I got up here. So
where are you? In the Bahamas? Where are you? In Jamaica? West?
I'm in London.
Oh, in London.
Yeah. So who is this? Angelique. So my thing must. So here's Angelique. How are you, Angelique? I can hold on some photographs, and I think I might need to get a newer MacBook. I think I might need to update the MacBook because I believe it's struggling right now. But it's making it happen. It's struggling, but it's making it happen. So
you're doing a good job, and I appreciate an African American who has a concern about professional cycling. I mean, that's a rarity.
Oh, trust me.
Many of the cyclists here,
yeah,
the Tour of Spain, they just ride, which is okay. But for me, I want to know what the pros are doing and how many watts they're turning out climbing up the Pyrenees or the Tourmalet. So I want to know the history of the race and the ride. It makes it much more enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. So keep talking. I'm bringing in Angelique.
Okay, good. When back in this, I started running track at first in 1960 when I was 12 years old, and there was the Rome Olympics. There was Wilma Rudolph won 3 gold medals. Abba Bikila from Ethiopia ran the marathon barefoot and got first, and Rafer Johnson won the decathlon. So I started running. Back then we had cinder tracks. So I bought a pair of cheap track shoes, maybe $12, and I went out to the track and started running around. And as time went by, I ran for my high school. I ran for the Marine Corps before I went to jail for not going to Vietnam. And when I got out, I started running marathons. And I've done over 15 with a best time of 2:54. Then the meniscus in my knees began to wear out, so I had to transition from the running to the bike. And I got a mediocre bike at first before spending a few $1,000s for carbon fiber and all of that. And cycling doesn't bother my knees, so that's something I'm
Yeah.
sticking with.
Yeah, definitely. That's a definite plus for cycling, which I tell a lot of people. Like I heard people tell me stories about how their knees this and their knees that, or something like you need to start. You need to start. Cycling, and then that's something you won't have to
Yeah,
worry about. So,
right. And
and
doing spinning, not so much the big gears, stay in the smaller gears and just spin so you don't put a lot of stress on the knee.
that's
There's
hard.
Angelique.
That's hard to tell people to not use the big gears. So let me
I
fix
know.
up
I
Angelique.
know. She is.
So that was me, and and so I'm gonna just position these a little bit differently. This is called Ecamm. This is not like what is it called? The other one is, what's the other popular one that everyone uses? I can't remember it, but I love it.
Zoom.
No, it's Zoom, and
Zoom.
then there's another one that's
There's
really,
another one.
yeah, that's really popular for the platforms, like the panel platforms. Angelique, can you hear us? I can't hear you. Do I got you muted? No, I don't have you muted, but I
Can't
can't hear
hear
you.
her.
We can't hear you, Angelique. So what you
Don't
need?
hear.
So I'm gonna hang you up, and I'm gonna just bring her back in. She's gotta. I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can hear me, hang up and then come back in.
Don't know if she hears you.
The very last race I done was called the Lincolnshire Classic, and that was it's part of the Premier calendar here in the UK. It's it's probably one of the biggest races in the UK, the Lincolnshire Classic. And
Is it a crit? A
no,
criterium?
it's what they will call in Belgium like a kermesse. So it's a large loop, a really large loop, and it has a cobbled climb. It has a cobbled climb. The climb is probably about, I don't know, maybe a mile of cobbles, and it's pretty intense. I really enjoyed that. So
Like Roubaix, huh? Like Paris-Roubaix has a
yeah,
lot of cobbles.
yeah. So, and it's the harder the race, it was amazing. Like the harder the race, the more I liked it, because yeah. So that was just me. So
You enjoy pain, huh? You
yeah,
enjoy pain?
because I wasn't a sprinter. I didn't
Yeah,
develop into sprinting because I done so much mileage. So my body
sure.
developed different. So, and I'm a bigger rider, so I can take the bit more than the smaller riders. So, and like I done Tour de Tuna, Killington, uh, like Tour, not Tour California. A lot of the big, like on the East Coast, a lot of races on the East Coast. I can't even
On the East
remember.
Coast, easy to
I
get
mean, on the
to.
West Coast. I mean, so like I started off, like the first race I first started racing was like in what's the park called? In Central Park. Central Park.
Oh, Central Park.
Yeah. So
The loop. You did the 6 mile loop.
yeah. So I actually got into racing by accident. It wasn't even intentional to get into racing actually. So yeah, it was weird how I got into it. So I had no intention on getting into cycling, but I did. And
So were you living in London when you began cycling?
I was in I was in Bermuda. I grew up in Bermuda. I was into
Oh, Bermuda.
BMX heavy. I mean, I was into the BMX heavy,
Oh, VMX.
and I was working in Ridgewood, New Jersey, in the bike shop. I was the BMX pro basically. So like anything to do with BMXs that came in the shop was just me. So I did, it didn't matter. I mean, what these kids are like with those bikes. They spend a lot of money on the little mini bikes. Like the kids in the family spend a lot of money for the. So that was me. I just took care of
Yes.
everything. And the story goes that I got into racing because there was like 6 mechanics that were working on. There was actually one guy to do Campanella. He was a Campy pro. There was one guy to do Shimano. He was a Shimano pro. Those guys used to argue
Oh,
back and
wow.
forth all the time. Shimano's crap and Campy's crap. I had to listen to that all the time. And then we have
All the time.
we had a Mavic guy. He took care of all of the Mavic stuff. And then there was a guy that was specialized in tubulars and stuff. It was like 8 stands. The shop was 5,000
Oh, wow.
square feet. It was like the biggest shop on the East Coast. It was one of the biggest shops in the U.S. And we used to, at first it just started off like, what you think about as, oh, cycling is crap. You guys wear, that stupid skinny clothing, BMXs, we crash into trees and we were real men,
Right.
and it was
Leaping
this
through the air.
constant back and forth. And so they just got tired of like, look, man, we tired of you talking stuff. You need to come on a ride. I can't come on a ride. I don't got a bike. So they fixed that because the owner was the same height as me, so they got a bike. I said, I don't got no clothes. So they went to the sale bin, and then they brought jerseys, helmet, and stuff, probably for about less than $50.
Oh, my goodness.
And then so you got to come out. I said, I ain't coming out. So I said, okay, you must have been about a year going on. I said, okay, come out. Went out on the ride, hit the first hill. I was smoking. I was good. But I miscalculated the hill, like the lactic threshold, the lactic acid, and how what actually happens, and how it shuts the legs down. I had never experienced that on the BMX.
Ooh.
But because when I used to ride the BMX, if I had to ride 20 miles to somewhere, I would ride it on a BMX, and my spin was immaculate, so I can ride the long distance because I had the cadence training, so which was perfect for getting into cycling, but I didn't have the top end, like to manage how you manage that, like to go faster, go further, go longer, go stronger. And then just as they were cresting the hill, man, the lactic acid shut me down, and it was a 20-mile loop. Probably a mile 6 or 7, they dropped me, and I had never been out in the country in New Jersey. I had no idea where I was, and I just didn't see him again. We left the shop at about maybe 6:30 or 7 or something like that. I got back to the shop about 3 o'clock. It's like an hour and a half.
Oh, my goodness.
Hour and a half, because I was just riding, and people like, oh, this, people like Ridgewood. I don't know, we have no idea where Ridgewood, New Jersey is. I was that far out, and eventually I found my way back.
You must have been hungry.
I was hungry. I didn't even care. I didn't think hunger didn't even matter because I was so infuriated, and I was just thinking of the embarrassment when I got back, like from the guys and stuff. That hunger it just even wasn't even in my mind. I was like, this is not happening again. So I just started like coming into work, like you're not working today. No, I know I'm coming to ride. I'm going out to train to and then they took me on. Yeah, they took me on the rides, and they never dropped me ever after that again. And then that was the beginning of me like really getting into, like, the first bike I had to ride was a Mozzie, fully campy racket, which was the owner's bike. He had so many bikes. He said, you just ride this one. It was a beautiful Mozzie, orange Mozzie, full campy racket. And so that was my beginnings into my baptism of fire into cycling and stuff. So I totally enjoyed it.
Yeah. Can we get Angelique, or she's not to be had today?
I don't know what's going on. It says I'm still online. I don't know if she tried to. Let me just check the chat to see if she said anything in the chat. Abdullah, race or ride, haha. Yep, I saw you on your way up when you were.
I saw a DVD a while back on the Rwanda cycling team.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with that DVD and the team they have in Rwanda?
No, I'm not, but I'm hoping to learn a lot more about them this year when I get down to those parts. she's waiting on
Yeah.
the host. It says so it says that because before it was saying offline. Sorry about that. So it says Angelique is waiting on the host, and tell her to hang up again and try again because before it was offline, but now it's so Angelique, if you can hear me, hang up and try again, and so we're gonna get you in here. So I don't know what the Gremlins are really playing a number on a thing. So and like I think like the you was asking me about like the biggest race I done. So the biggest race that
Yeah.
I probably done would be Commonwealth Games. Commonwealth Games, and
Oh.
then like in Venezuela for what we call the Central American and Caribbean Games, where like you basically like Mexico, Venezuela, like all of the teams that are like countries that are closer to is Uruguay? Was Uruguay there? I'm not quite sure, but yeah. So like Central American and Caribbean games, a lot of the Caribbean competitions. Um,
Certainly.
B Worlds. So B Worlds, they made up this thing called the B Worlds, which was the next thing to the Worlds. Was so for countries like Bermuda, whereas like you didn't get automatic selection or you didn't even get a look at because your country's so small and
Sure.
you have no
Sure.
riders in. So
Right.
basically, the B Worlds
Right.
was set up so the first four countries of something like that, five countries that finished in that, you got an invite to the World Championships. So, but yeah, so that was that was that was the just some of the stuff I done. Spent a lot of time in Spain, riding and stuff, riding and training. I just did stuff because it was really tough, and like my experience is the reason why I want to do my academy. So I was telling people, I want to go to Spain to train for 6 months and stuff, and people are like, "Why are you going to Spain for?" It
Cool.
makes no sense. As the you're wasting your time. It was really there was really no support in the effort to actually try to become pro and get a race amongst the best in the world. Like it was like, okay, you look like this, so you can't do that. There's no one that looks like you. Who do you think you are? You
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
was just no support. So I just up and left and went to Spain. Didn't know the language. Didn't know where the races were going to be. I just literally went with my bikes, no clue of races or anything, and just went over there and just like did my thing, and just enjoyed the time that I was there. And it was such an experience that when I came back, when racing in the Caribbean, I was just probably one of the top two or three in the Caribbean as far as riders. But then I
Wow.
went to the U.S. and raced in the U.S. and I had a lot of fun racing in the criteriums. But you watch the videos, you just see the criteriums are just. If you watch hear my video talking about criterium racing, I just think I like watching it and I enjoyed it when I did it. But I think criterium racing is one of the dumbest form of racing on and it's only I only say that because of the cowboy nature in which
Yeah. Yeah.
the guys race. So and so if you saw the crash where the guy crashed out Justin, he just missed Justin, but he took out the two guys that were like leading out Justin. One guy broke his collarbone, the other guy got badly injured. And he just literally, it was just so stupid the move that he made. It just was like when you watch it back, like what are you thinking? So like, and you see moves like that all through the race, and it's just senseless. So like someone was saying to me, like, how do you fix that? How do you solve that? So I'm like, okay, well, you do what the European pro scene has done, the UCI done. So you just can't show up to Liège, Bastogne-Liège, or Paris-Roubaix. You have to be in a world tour
Yeah.
team. So it's controlled. So there's full complements of riders from each team, and it's structured. And but when you get to the criterium racing, you got Legion, you got Miami Blazers, you got Aviators. Maybe Mike Spikes may show up with a few guys, and all the other teams maybe have one or two riders, and then there's a couple other teams like Butcher Block may show up, and those guys would have full complement, so like team of riders. But then, so they only make up maybe 30 riders. Then you have 100 other riders who are all who all believe they can win. Now, of the 5 teams I mentioned, they're all riding pretty much for one person or maybe 2 people.
That's right.
And
Captain.
so basically, there is no helter skelter amongst those groups of teams. You know, they're controlled, they have a plan, and the environment is somewhat safe, you know, in the manner that they ride. But then it's the other 100 guys that are all trying to be on the front. They're all trying to go for the preem. They're all trying to dive bomb in the corner. You just watch Corey's or Justin's or the guy, the NorCal, on YouTube. You just watch the videos and guys elbowing like it's unnecessary. It's like, what are you elbowing for? You're doing lap after lap on the same short course, going nowhere. Like, you know, just it's mindless, and I'm surprised that more guys are not, you know, injured in the sport in which the way they ride. It's just so if they require that you be on a team that's registered, and the team must exist of 5 to 6 riders at least, then it'll change the whole, you know, dynamic of the racing. So now, guys, everybody's in there with a purpose. You know, you just don't get in just because you paid money to be in there. And so, you know, you just don't, you know, some guy, oh man, Ahmad done me dirty last week, so I didn't even want to race, but I want to race because I gotta get him back. You know, it's just crazy stuff like that. So yeah,
you are right, and it's because if they do it the way that you're saying through qualification, the quality of the athlete is much more assured. Because, like you said, they're not just riding because they could afford to pay whatever the entry fee is. Their team had to have been invited to have had won some previous races. They have to have, and they may do some kind of blind teams where they just, to round out the field, they'll pick some teams that of lesser ability or that don't have that stellar history or that stellar record. So that rounds everything out. But those crits, when they make them turns, man, they are leaning. It's amazing that they don't crash out each and every time. But they're passing on the turn. Yeah, and that's no place you want to pass on the turn.
Yeah, that is that you are absolutely correct. We done a crit one time, like it was crazy. We done it one year in the dry, and you know the butt studs that they have in the center, and I was worried about the butt studs because, like, you know, if you're riding and you could clip that or whatever, it could take you out. But that was like my baptism into riding 6 or 7, 8 riders deep, and it was funny when we was like in Cali, it just seemed way more controlled. You know, even though like a lot of amateur teams were in the races that we were, I didn't really experience the bad riding until I went to like LA and then like on the East Coast. But you know, I remember going through these wide roads, these wide corners, as I should say, and we were like 8, 9, 10 deep, and this was like, you know, probably my first year into like Elite 2 pro racing, and I was really, really worried and stuff, like, you know, too close, and then after about lap 10, I was just absolutely comfortable. It was like, okay, we cool, we good, everyone's controlled. But then the next year we done the same race, and it was raining, and you believe it or not, wow, we went through the corners at literally the same speed, the same thing, and I was honestly, if I'm honest, I was actually terrified. But then it like after I realized the tires are holding, you know, it's nothing to worry about, and I was just like carried on and didn't even worry about it after that. But it was just a level different, like different places, a different time. It was like, and I guess the respect was different as well too, because today people just still so Angelique, I am so sorry, I'm just not seeing you in the thing, so it's just not. I'm gonna copy the link and put it in the thing one more time and see what happens, Angelique. But I'm on. So
You had a picture of Cavendish before. Do you think he's going to come back and attempt to break Merckx's record
oh, he
for the
is.
most stages won in the Tour de France?
He is. I had the article up. I was going to read the article, and I sort of talked about that earlier. That he's going to be racing like one more year with Astana. So they
Oh,
are
I missed that.
yeah. So they're going to be it's been big news. Ben, is it not Affleck? Is it Stella? Yeah, Ben Stella. He commented saying like he's looking forward to Cavendish going out there and breaking the record, and he deserves it because he didn't get done dirty this year, but it was just unfortunate that that these things happen. So, but I don't know what's happening with the rest of cycling. I am just like seeing stuff and hearing stuff. Chris Horner is he's like calling people dumbass and ridiculous.
Oh, the butterfly effect. You ever watch him?
Yeah.
The butterfly effect, yeah.
I wasn't watching him at first, but I just started recently watching him at La Volta, and I really didn't like his flow. It just like he, as a presenter, as a radio person, as a person who's worked in radio, and listening to him talk and be expressive, and he's like, really, really being animated, and I'm like, dude, you're just not doing it for me. But
he is
animated. Now I'm like listening past his actions and just listening to the words. It's just the message. Don't worry about the ladies get upset because they say you talk too rough. So listen past the tone and just hear the words. So that's what I've been doing.
Right.
And it's been palatable since then. But yeah, he's interesting. Then you had Brunel. Not Egan.
Oh Brunel. Yeah, Brunel is good. Yeah, Brunel.
Yeah, Johan Brunel. I'm sorry, Johan Brunel, and Spencer, and talking about all of this stuff. So someone said early in the week it was speculation because one of the head jumbo guys were seen in a picture with the guys from Apple. So is Apple going to sponsor? Is Apple going to sponsor? And it's like, no, Apple's not going to sponsor, but I just thought that would be amazing. I was talking
to. They have the money. Hell, they have the money.
Yeah, I ran with it. I was talking to a friend. Just I didn't type it on the internet or anything, but I was talking to a friend. I was like, man, that would be amazing. But yeah, because Apple's never really sponsored a sporting event, but it would make sense for Apple because cycling is the most watched sport. Like the Tour de France is the most watched sport in the world.
It is.
Angelique, I don't know what to say or do, Angelique, because I think it has something to do with my computer. My computer is from 2017, so I think the CPU is struggling right now. And so I definitely apologize, Dr. Angelique Martin. Maybe if do me a favor, Hamid, just
yes.
drop. I want you to come back. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna drop you out of the show, and I'm gonna see if I could get Angelique up here.
Okay.
I just took the name off. There you go.
There we go.
So, Angelique, if you can hear me, try it now. Try now. See what happens. See if we could get you back up. See if we could get you up. Maybe a bandwidth issue on my end. It might be. So cancel the thing that you were doing and then give it a go and see what happens. Try and try the link one more time. And yeah, I'm my bandwidth is 5G. We blinging over here. No Angelique yet? No? So while we're waiting to see if Angelique comes up, yeah, it's just looking wow for 2024. So it's going to be Ines Luby, who Say With Your Legs Media inside of Europe, probably covering one of the most epic upcoming seasons ever. So with this merger of Sudal Quickstep and Jumbo Visma, and then the Remco Evenepoel, and oh my goodness, Jonas Vingegaard, Roglic, and then Ineos trying to buy out Pogacar's contract. So it's going to be. It still says waiting on the host. I didn't even know what to do to. Let me go back to something that I was going to try. Interview off. Okay. Nothing yet. No. There we go. Amit is joining. Angelique is joining. There we go. And I'm going to assign you to guest 2. There you are. Can you hear me? I can't hear you though. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay. I'm going to assign it to guest 2. I'm going to shut that one off. Says Amit is joining. What's going on? What's with the gremlins? I'm gonna. Okay. Try again. We're gonna work this out. We building this plane as we fly it. So I got Nathan Imani on the thing. I'm gonna send him the link and see what he does with it. If he can't, because he's working, I totally understand. Copy. And so yeah, just sent Imani the link. So Angelique, did you give it a go again? I bumped you out, and I wanted you to dial back to see if we could get the audio working on your end. So I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. Marvin Gaye, what's going on? Is that Marvin Gaye? So while waiting for Angelique to so we'll just bump some tunes while waiting for Angelique. So next for 2024 is looking really, really promising. Folks, when I tell you that this is going to be epic, believe me when I tell you this is going to be epic. To see someone like myself inside of the pro peloton, chasing down the cyclists and getting interviews and the stories and stuff. I do have a plan of attack. I don't want to sort of disclose what I'm going to do. I'm going to be talking to the riders and all of that stuff, but it's going to be my approach towards getting those interviews and stuff. And I don't want to like disclose like how I'm gonna go about it, because I think it's going to be interesting. I am so looking forward to just talking to the different and the many riders, the Caribbean riders, the African riders, and it's going to be a challenge talking to some of the African riders, because some of them don't speak the greatest. Their English is not that great, so it's going to be on me to try to learn some phrases and words here and there. And that's also how you build up a rapport with the different countries. It's by actually learning. Yeah, I know Ahmad's in the green room. I'm trying to hold off on Ahmad because I'm trying to get Angelique up. So let me just try this one more time. Select the source for camera. If you there we go. Somebody's buzzing in. Who is that? Angelique. Let's try Angelique one more time. So we're gonna assign her to. She's guest 2. So let me kill the music. So I'm still not getting any audio from you, Angelique. So I have you all the way up. So on your like, are you on the computer or are you on the phone? Computer. So, because I know on the phone there's a little icon that you can hit on the phone. I haven't used the. I don't know what the setup looks like when you're looking at it from your computer. So, if you mouse over the screen, does any icons come up? Like when you touch the phone, like icons will show up. When you mouse over the screen, do any icons show up? Like do the microphone or anything show up? I'm gonna bring a mod in. I wish I could share screen with you, then I can see what's going on. So I'm just not familiar with the desktop. So everyone usually why don't you just try using your phone? Why did you just try using your phone, just dialing on your phone? Just copy and paste the link to your phone and just use your phone. Is it iPhone? So if you do it on, you know what? What browser are you using? Are you using Chrome, Safari, Google? So you should be using Chrome. If you're using Chrome on the desktop, you should be good. Are you using Chrome? I can't believe I'm still awake. This is amazing. Yes, Chrome. So yeah. So just do it on the phone. Just try it on the phone. I guess. So while you're doing that, Angelique, sign off the. Oh, it doesn't even matter because it's not gonna feedback. So just don't sign off. Just leave it there.
I'm back on.
I can hear you. I definitely can see you. Yeah. So I'm trying to get Angelique to use her test. It seems to work a whole lot better.
Desktop.
Yeah, but you're working fine. So no worries.
Good. Good. While you're waiting for Angelique, have you been watching The Move
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
with Lance Armstrong and Henry?
Yeah, I watch them all the time. I'm a big fan of the show.
Yeah, they do a good job. I think they do good jobs.
Yeah,
Hen Cappy and Lance.
it's funny. Lance is like they've toned down the show a little bit from when they first started. He basically like in
I
the
agree.
beginning he was a bit more off the cuff, like saying what he
I
thought.
agree.
But now that he's getting all the sponsors and now he's like,
Okay, she's talking to. She's saying something.
yeah. So, oh, let me see. Oh, I'm using Chrome. I am
You
using
have
Chrome.
it.
And I'm just the speech thing came up, so
Uh-huh.
this is the back chat. It's so many features in there. I just realized I keep just getting used to. So you've she said even it's not gonna happen instantly if she is dialing, so it might take a minute. Does it say waiting?
Mm.
Oh, it says you're in the thing.
She's showing us something.
Yeah, I saw it. It says waiting on the host.
She has a thumbs up.
Yeah, but I hasn't connected to me as yet. Yeah. So I have, yeah. This is tough, man. It's exhilarating as well as depressing. I'm sorry, Angelique. Angelique, I'm so sorry. I feel,
She's showing us everything. Yeah.
yeah.
It's not going to work probably.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. It must be, the head. It's probably the head. I don't know. She hears that.
She's talking. Can't hear her.
Let me just type something to her. Oh, she said she heard that. And you have that's an iPhone as well. Oh no, that's a Galaxy. It's a, which one is that? Is it Sprint? No, I don't know the name of that one. You have to type it in. Can you hear Angelique? No, Ahmad is saying no. You typed in okay, error.
Yeah, can't hear you.
Android, yeah. I know it's Android. I was just wondering which Android it was. So anyway, we're having a conversation. It's not the type of conversation we want, but we are having a conversation.
Right.
So type in the chat, Angelique. How long have you been cycling? Are you a vet? Are you new? What's going on? Oh man, this is. I apologize, Angelique.
No, it is what it is.
So let me see. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna actually bring you in the conversation, Angelique. Watch this. Watch this. Abdullah. Join the conversation, Angelique. Names. See members of chat. No, you're not in the. You're not in the thing. Message me on Facebook, Angelique, in the Facebook Messenger. Please. Sorry, my manners. My grandma just smacked me in the back of the head. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, you was talking about like the Paris to for the Tour de France. Um, I have mixed feelings about like going to like as a spectator race because there
Uh-huh.
as a spectator, like you know, like live at the race, there are so many other races that are way better for the spectator because the Tour de France is such a spectacle. But it's definitely something to experience because I did go to, I believe it was in 2009. I was in on the Champs Elysees, and and I did
Oh,
walk.
you were?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I did walk the
For
whole.
the
I walked.
finish.
Yeah, yeah. And that hard drive, I don't like. I have tons of pictures and videos, and that hard drive is in a box. It's dead, so I can't even get to them.
See,
So
that final day though, that's a sprint. I mean,
yeah, it's a sprint
it's
stage.
more ceremonial for whoever's going to win the tour, of course. But for somebody who wants a stage win, hey, go ahead and do it. But the mountain climbs, that's where I want to be. I want to see the peloton stretched out for a mile or two. That's where I want to be.
Yeah, yeah, it's
And I'm looking
yeah.
into packages right now to see who.
Okay.
It's going to cost about 4 or 5 grand.
Hello,
So I'm
Angelique.
saving
So
my little pennies.
can you hear Angelique? Ahmad?
I don't hear her. Do you hear her?
Yeah, yeah. I got it on the
Okay, good. You have it. As long as you have it, that's what counts.
See, there's Angelique. Everybody.
I see her.
Can you hear Ahmad?
Faintly. I have no idea what I hear a rumbling. I hear a voice.
There's a major delay when it comes to my
I got it now.
Yeah, I just turned the volume up on her on my phone so it could come through a whole lot clearer.
Yeah, I hear her now.
So I'm just reading your thing. It says you've been with Major Taylor for less than 6 months. Great teachers, Abdullah and Daryl. Where's Daryl? What happened to Daryl? And Angelique?
I'm still here.
I can say I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Oh no, I hear everybody perfectly on the phone. It's just on the computer. It's a major delay, and when I say a major delay, it's like I'm already doing something else, and you see me on my chin, and that was 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, the funny thing is now that you are talking on to me on the phone, it's almost like real time, and then you're gonna get the delay of the thing, which is cool. Which is just gotta make it work the way we make it work. We're building the plane as we fly it. So
Yes, everybody's been absolutely wonderful, patient to a fault, and I so appreciate that because as I was talking with Ahmed today. I may be slow, but who always wins the race, the tortoise or the hare?
yeah.
So I always win.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do appreciate all of them and their patience.
Definitely. So you what type of a cyclist are you? You a recreational cyclist? Do you do triathlons? Do you just like do you do any races? Where do you fit in? Where do you slide in?
Me, it's called exercise and keep the backside small.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good way to have camaraderie and exercise, and that was the original intent when I started out with a young lady that I used to ride with.
Okay.
And then when I found Major Taylor, I was like, ooh, more people.
Okay.
She had to go back to work, and I'm retired.
Okay. So you don't look retired. I mean, Ahmad's looking like he's 16. And then hey, you talking about retired. If you don't mind me asking, what is retirement age?
What does it mean, you mean?
Age. What?
Oh, I'm not shaming my age. I'm real proud because I tell everybody somebody didn't live long enough to see
Should I
this
ain't
day.
saying my age?
Somebody won't. I'm proud of my age. I'm not joking. And like I tell folks all the time, I said somebody is not celebrating birthdays anymore. And come January 11th, I'll be 70, and I'm giving God all the glory.
Wow, you guys, man, you guys are. I'm dreaming about 60, like when I get 60, because I have a milestone that I need to be at, uh, like
Well, this should
financially.
be a big birthday party because you only hit it once.
I know, but this is the, you know what the funny thing, I just like I just can't be bothered with birthdays. It's just like whatever. My whole thing is
Yeah, that's the
it
way I am.
is whatever my goal is, like is more important. So the reason 60 is important for me is because there's a financial goal that I want to be at, and there's also a uh just my business plan needs to be at to, and I want it at that place so that when I do get that age, now I can turn things over to people and let the business do the business where I just oversee it, and I'm not actually working,
Mm.
but because it's cycling and I love it, I'm still involved in it. So that's the goal for 60. So you never know, I may have a big shindig and send you guys tickets and t-shirts
Well,
too.
you should. My great aunt used to tell me, whatever you're doing, just keep living and
Yep.
you'll make it. And keep striving one foot in front of the other.
Yep. So
Yeah. And oh, by the way, let me give you the definition of old. You ready?
go ahead.
3 days in the grave and moldy.
Anything moldy,
That's old.
I would say anything moldy is old. I would definitely say anything moldy is old. So yeah. So
Yep, 3 days in the grave and moldy.
so Ahmad's got plans to, like, come see the Tour de France or anything. Has that part of the cycling bug bit you yet?
Well, I'm not a racing fan per se. I like hearing about it. My daughter is training to do something similar to that in Texas, and she is like them doing 22 miles per hour plus, and she wants to do something like the Tour de France
Mm-hmm.
in Texas, and she's right now working on doing 100 miles, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And the day she gets to do that will be great. But I also had a joy, and I thank Abdullah for reminding me. I did do something different this past weekend, last Saturday. I drove to Tucson, Arizona, and I rode in I guess you would call it a pre-Tour de Tucson. They're having a El Tour de Tucson, and so I went out there to ride with the Major Taylor and Black Girls Do Ride groups,
Mm-hmm.
and I found out that I am definitely 69 years old when I tried to hit every one of those mountains, even though they tell me it's not a mountain. But I was proud of myself. I did not get off that bike one time. I rode every hill on the bike. I was huffing and puffing, but I made it. And
That's
I
good. That's
appreciate all
beautiful.
the encouragement from everyone up here in Phoenix area, Major Taylor and Abdullah and Ahmed and Daryl and Vinay and all of them that ride Friday mornings. They were very encouraging. And like I say, I made the ride, and that was a hard 20 miles worth of hills. But it was fun. I'm glad I got to go.
There we go.
And, like I say, I've only been at this a little less than, and I'm working up to, and thanks to all of them, I'm now doing 13, averaging about 13 miles per hour, as long as a cramp doesn't hit on my left leg. I'm proud of myself, but I'm I'm going to keep doing it. And everybody, like I say, they're so kind and encouraging. And I've tried to get some more people to come out. Some of the members from my church also. They're trying to encourage them. A couple of them. I have one young lady. She has a three-wheel bike.
Yeah.
I told her, bring the three-wheel. We'll go with the three-wheel. But I can't get her to come out yet.
Okay.
I'm determined.
So if you listen back, you're gonna hear the sound effects. Can you hear them? Did you hear the sound effects? Okay, well you hear them. So I'm gonna keep it feminine for you. So here you go. Ahmad's gonna hear it. Is it gonna play?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's unfortunate that you can't hear the stuff, but I'm going to say thank you to you, Angelique, because I have to have you on speakerphone, and it is after midnight here, and I'm not in the house by myself. So when I got the headphones on, it's okay. So I'm going to sort of say thank you for joining us, because I don't want anyone come knocking on my door saying I'm making too much noise. And hopefully we can try this again. I'm gonna be here every Friday. So if you want to just come and join in, and hopefully next Friday things are working a lot better. Just come and just hop in, and I want to hear from people like yourself. I want to hear how just more about your cycling journey and stuff, and because there are so many people that are like yourself, like that are where you're at, that totally enjoy the sport, totally just love being on the bike, but they're not out there doing the mega miles or going mega fast, but they still enjoy the bike just as much. So I would definitely love to have more conversation with you, and just kick it, just come on and just let's kick it, kicking it with Angelique, So
You're adorable. I appreciate you.
Alrighty.
You sleep well. Thank you so much, and thank you for your patience.
No worries. Thank you for joining us.
Alrighty.
All right.
You take care, Ahmad. Okay. Abdullah.
So long, sister. Peace and blessings. Will do.
Alrighty. So there goes Angelique. Definitely. So let me just.
So, Ennis, what time is it there? About midnight?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's 12:07.
Is it midnight?
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Well, you better go to bed. Your wife or whomever is probably wondering where the heck you are.
No, I'm. Dude, it's funny thing is, my day starts at 4, so I'll get in bed, but I'm gonna just get up anyway. So I do my little strength.
You're gonna get up anyway.
Yeah, I do my strength training routine.
How many
and
pounds
stuff.
are you, Ennis? How many pounds are you?
Well,
in pounds, not kilos or anything.
No, I don't do kilos. So the funny thing is, 8 weeks ago I was 169. Today I am 179. So I've been doing.
Is that muscle you're gaining, or
yeah,
what? 10
muscle,
pounds?
Muscle. Yeah, I've been doing like these. So I do a HIIT program, and like this guy Ashton Hall, he has it on YouTube, and he has like these 30-minute sessions, and I do like on YouTube, like you have legs and abs, and then legs, abs, and some upper body, and then I finish with upper body. And I basically do an hour and a half, like at least 3 to 4 times a week, and it's pretty intense, and I'm really enjoying it when so I'm like, I was looking in the mirror one day, and then I could just like see like the ribs and stuff. I mean, it was like, like it just
that ego.
it looked horrible. It looked sickly. It wasn't even, it just looked sickly. Just like, I'm starting to look like an old man. I'm like, nah, I don't like this. Yeah. So I made a drastic change. Even the guy that I work with, he's been saying like, man, look, you're getting bigger than me. You got muscles and like.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I
have
want to feel healthy. I want to feel strong. I don't want to be all big and bulky, but I want to feel, I want to feel control, in control of self.
Yeah.
And, so I started to notice a few things, like if I don't ride as much, something starts to like ache and this and that. So since I've been doing the strength training, I'm not having those issues. So it's just, you keep the movement and stuff. So I got to get me a kicker so I can, ride indoors, because I'm not riding my bike outside anymore. Because I'm just fed up with riding bikes in the UK roads. It's a horrible place to ride a bike. Some of the, especially in London, in central London, it's a horrible place to ride a bike. So
Yeah,
it's like being in
I've
New
been
York.
there. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of training do you do? Interval work, or you do intervals?
When I'm on the bike, it's just mainly just cadence and spinning. So I just
Cadence and spinning.
yeah,
Okay.
just stay on the bike, cadence and spin, and then I won't really do intervals like unless I'm with a group. So you get pushed and stuff. So my intervals are induced. So I don't really want to do them.
I
But
understand that. They hurt.
yeah, because you're with the group, and when they're putting the hammer down, you gotta
You got to go with them.
yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
go, or you gotta show and go. So
Otherwise, you
that's
get
what's up.
dropped.
That's what's up.
You have a
So
power meter? Use a power meter?
I did actually. I have the old power. Is it power tap? In the wheel.
Yeah, power tap. I've heard of that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I that all of that stuff is in California. So I was using that and stuff, but no, I'm a real. I definitely ride off a cadence and average speed, which
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
which tells you pretty much everything, and I can
Yes,
gauge
it does.
like the effort and the time, and within those numbers. So if I know that I'm holding a certain thing, I know my power's gonna my power's got to be at a certain thing to hold that average or whatever. So I can calculate it. So I don't necessarily need the power. So if I know that I'm climbing at 13 miles per hour average, I know I'm holding like my power it's my sustained power is there. It's on point. So I only because of the knowledge of past, because I've been on the bike for so long, I can get away with that. If I was new to cycling,
Certainly.
I wouldn't expect someone new to cycling to be able to gauge gauge doing things the way that I do and stuff. And yeah.
All right.
But yeah,
Well, I'm going to check out all the videos you have online. I saw that you have quite a few videos there, so I'm going to familiarize myself with them.
yeah. So if you can share them, make sure you hit the like button and share them. Like just keep sharing them and annoy people till they start watching them. Maybe watch what this guy keeps posting these things. Just watch them.
No, I will. I will share them on my Facebook page.
Okay.
On my page, I will certainly share them. It's been a joy talking to you, good brother. It's
No
good
worries.
to see somebody over there black that's into cycling, not just the riding, but the people who are kicking butt and taking names too.
Yep. So I think my kicking butt and taking names days they might be done, but I'm gonna be taking names in a different fashion. Here's my pen. So I'll be taking names like this.
There you go, right
in my journal, and
All
I'm
right,
bringing you
brother.
the good stories. So that's my goal, to bring you the good stories and stuff. So
Keep
alrighty.
on keeping on, brother. Appreciate you, Ennis.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming up.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Alrighty, talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Guess number 3. This thing is bring back this screen. See how long it takes to get to that. I'm gonna bring me a little Nafix. There we go. That was pretty good. We tune you down. So let me just. We gotta.
Coming soon.
Yeah, what was coming soon? What are we going to be having coming soon? You turn that down. Coming soon is going to be Ennis Luby inside of Europe, and bringing you just some amazing interviews and stuff that's going on. You know what? You know what's going on? At the end of every race, you see the guys. Let me turn this down a bit more. They get this purple drink. For the life of me, I'm going to find out what that purple drink is before I get over to Europe. So I'm going to be emailing and messaging people like from the different teams, the soigneurs, the nutritionists, the masseuses, and different, whoever I can see who's on the different teams, and see if someone would let me know what's up, because I asked an American pro cyclist that he actually races between the US and the UK. He was just in Spain a little while ago. McCormick is his name, and I asked him, I said, yo, what's the purpose of it? He said, man, I want to know myself. So yeah, as soon as I find that out, I'm going to share that with people and stuff. So let me just see if I can find this screen again. This was like my main see along. Boy, this thing is just moving so slow, man. And I need to bring my screen up here. Bring my background. We're gonna go with some bricks. We're gonna go with the bricks background. The bricks background, or should we go with the? Let's go with the. Yeah, let's go with the. I don't know what happened to my background of my Stelvio. I need to find that. I'm gonna find the Stelvio. But this week. Oh my goodness! This past week, Jonas and Roglic. First they Jumbo Visma did a thing inside of the La Volta, and it looked like Sepp was going to get derailed by his own teammates, but that didn't happen. And the main reason, like Johan Brunel was saying, that the main reason that Jonas and Roglic didn't just trash Sepp Kuss and deny him to win in the La Volta is because the outrage that came from all the fans. I mean, just about every single, like from the Move to Chris Horner to Cycling Weekly to GCN to Pink Bikes, everyone was like, "What the hell are you? What's going on? What's going on?" And yeah, it's like they just like they fix up the look sharp real quick, real quick, and then the next tune that everyone was singing was like yeah we're riding for Kuss, but I just did not feel that. Even when Sepp was saying it, even when Roglic was saying it, I just, that energy was off. They are winners, and they were there to win, especially for Roglic, because he won the Giro d'Italia, and the plan was probably for him to win the La Volta. And then when Jonas was coming to La Volta, Roglic must have been saying like, "What the hell, man? What you doing? This is we talked about this. We talked about this in pre-season. Like, this is going to be the race that I'm doing. This is the race for me, and you're doing this." So my goodness. I mean, Roglic must have been. He must have been like, to get that news. But it's funny. It's making me think like someone must have known. I'm just putting on my conspiracy theories hat. But if you think about it, somebody must have known that this was going to happen between Jumbo Visma and Soudal Quickstep, and the reason why everybody was in the race for the Volta, the Tour of Spain, because someone knew. And it's like, what? This is like a last hurrah. We might as well get all the boys in the race, let them do their thing, enjoy one last hurrah of the boys all together. And I for some reason in my head, I'm just thinking that, it just came in my head. Like, I think I think that's what it was. I think that's what it is, and that's the reason why you saw in the Tour of Spain. It was a bit of a hot mess. It was a bit of a hot mess, but it was what it was. I'm at work right now and not off until 7. Definitely will be on the what days or can we make a specific time and what time is it there? It's 12 midnight, Nathan. So let me just before I put my conspiracy hat back on. But yeah. So you just think about it. Somebody inside a Jumbo. You should try to win all three tours: the Giro, the Tour de France, and the Tour of Spain. Because at some point, with his wife saying like, you know, his wife is giving Jonas the blessing, like, you know, knowing that he's going to be away from the family for much longer, to like, you know, go ahead and, you know, go for that, you know, because no one's ever done it. So I believe it's going to be interesting. And the talk is that Roglic is probably going to go to Ineos or maybe Bahrain. And if he goes to one of those teams, then they're speculating that he's probably going to take Sepp Kuss with him. And then if Sepp Kuss if Jonas has Remco, then the Jumbo Visma still has a two-edged sword in Remco, Evenepoel, and Jonas. And the only way it's being said that Remco could probably win the Tour is if he's riding for Jonas. Because if something happens or some, you know, like the same thing that happened with Sepp Kuss, he would be, you know, in position to take over and win. You know, so that's what people are saying. Like, they don't see him as an outright winner. I don't see Remco as an outright winner of the Tour. But even with the way he rode the Tour of Spain last year, he just didn't impress me. He just didn't look like somebody that could, you know, just win the Tour de France. Tour de France, oh my goodness, that's a whole different beast. That is a whole different beast, and I personally don't think, let me see if I can get the rest of my cycle talk logo up in there. What's going on? That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I personally don't think Remco is cut out for. Why can't I get my? Sorry. This is if I can. Is it right way? No. Trying to get my banner in. There we go. Is it in? No, still not in. But anyway. Just my opinion. I just don't. Remco is an amazing classic rider, but I just don't see him as a Tour de France guy. I don't even see him as a stage race guy. He just doesn't have the temperament. Like, he doesn't have the patience, and which is something he's gonna have to learn. If he learns and he listens to people, because he's a bit headstrong. He says what he wants to say, and that's what you do as a younger person. You especially if the world is on your shoulders and you think you know everyone praises you and treats you like a god, you're gonna start to act out. So a minute. So sorry because it's so late. So yeah, that's just going to be so interesting. That's going to be so interesting. There's so much speculation. There's so many different scenarios as to which way things could go. It's going to be super interesting. And then with yours truly in Europe, just bringing you everything up close and personal, man. So the other thing is, like, keep in tune with. I know I'm going to be getting some interviews with some of the lesser known riders, and I do want to talk to those guys because they're going to have a different perspective on what goes on inside of they're going to be able to share things that you wouldn't normally hear. So looking forward to speaking to some of those riders from the other teams. And last but not least, is Kevin is going to be riding again. He's going to be doing one more year to go for that record of Merckx to break that the most ever stage wins in the Tour de France. So he does this. He's already a legend, but he's going to be a legend of a legend on top of a legend. So best of luck to Kev, and best of luck to this new season. It's gonna be good. So anyway, I'm gonna jump off of this because I can feel my eyes closing. I can literally feel my eyes closing. That's so great. But I'm still amped up a little bit. I don't know why. But it's a pleasure to be on here and to be able to talk to people. Thank you, Angelique, for passing through. Thank you, Ahmad, for passing through. It was a pleasure talking to you, my brother. Thank you, Bill, for coming through. Thank you, Donna, and Nate. So at some point, I'm gonna get to talk to Nathaniel Imani, and that's crazy because Imani is his name, but Imani is my daughter's name as well too. So that's crazy. Anyway, people, I'm gonna be up and out of here. Let me see if I can bring back this screen. So while that's doing, like I said, I'm gonna be up and out of here. So you may see. Oh, on Sunday we got the recovery ride. It's called a recovery ride, and with all of the happenings that's going on, there will be stuff to talk about. Trust me, there will be stuff to talk about on Sunday. I mean, we probably have more details on the on Ineos, from Ineos to Citadel Quickstep to Jumbo Visma. Like Israel Premier Tech is like talking about they're gonna try to, because if once these two teams merge, then so those are two race licenses, those are two team licenses, and no team could have two licenses, so they have to get rid of one. So it's looking like Israel Premier Tech is the other big budget team, big spenders that are looking to get that, so they could be a tier 1 team basically. So it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure everyone is. So we're gonna say bye to the Stelvio. That's the Stelvio behind me. We're gonna say bye to the Stelvio. That's the picture I took on my 53rd birthday. Yeah, it was my 53rd birthday, and that's where I was on the Stelvio. That's my goodness. I can't even begin to describe to you this climb. I can't even begin to describe to you. It's just, and that's the other thing. What I would like to do. So I saw what Lance Armstrong and the Move did this year. Now they have We Do Travel. I've had industry recycling tours for quite some time, and I've only done one tour with a group of ladies that came over, and we did. They rode from the UK to Rotterdam. It was a 4-day trip. That was amazing. My daughter came with me and helped me out with that, to do driving and stuff and help out with the bikes and everything. So that was pretty amazing. I would like to do more of that. I would love to share. See, can you see this? I did that by myself, and the whole time I'm doing it, it's like, man, I just wish I could have people here with me. And there's two options, because most people I talk to, it's like there is definitely a financial concern, because you got the flight, you got the hotels, getting your bike, you got the food, all of that stuff. But We Do Travel, those guys, they do everything as first class. There is no budget option. They have the best hotels, best food, they have tons of sponsors and swag and stuff. So there's two options that I would like to do. So if you're financially constrained or restrained, or whatever word I'm trying to find, if you're financially not able to do something as lavish as that, I can get you all of the pricing and get you all of the cost. So you're spending, that it costs what it costs basically, and find you the best deals on it. Or if you're like the ladies that went to Rotterdam, they didn't care about, they skimping was not on the, they even made sure the hotel room that I stayed in was nice and stuff. They looked after me. So you have the two ends of where we can plan something nice, or we can just plan something basic so you can just go and ride. So in places like this, they have like chateaus and stuff. So how I would do a group is we get a chateau, and the chateau is really affordable. It's like a 8 to 9 bedroom, like a mountain winter ski type home, and they are really nice wooden, like just big wooden log cabins that have saunas, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing. I need to put up some of the like because I did go to French. I did go to France and Switzerland, and I was like, going by the chateaus, and I got tons of pictures and stuff. And so I was really promoting back about maybe six years ago, promoting the Innis Luby cycling tour. So if you're interested and it's something that you think that you would like to do, I would love to be able to just take people and just to do stuff like that, to share like this type of experience. It's trust me, it's nothing like it. So, and to Angelique, I would, man, like you and like whatever ladies or whatever guys that are just getting into the sport and just enjoying the sport, this is the second highest pass in the like that you can ride over inside of Europe. Look past that. But cause you got Mount Lemon there, so you can go and practice in the butt. This is the Stelvio, and in the background, if you use, let me see, like where am I? This is so hard. Maybe I need to flip the screen. So right here, this little area, there's those mountains there, those little set of mountains there. Back there, that's where the Motorola and a bunch of Paso de Gallo and all of those other climbs. It's just so much. It's just so many amazing climbs, and the Dolomites, and it's not far away. It's just so many amazing climbs, so much scenery. And then if we go a little further south, and it flattens out. And Spain, Italy is a beautiful place. Spain is a beautiful place. Spain is more deserty, like more dry, more tropical. But Italy is just green, gorgeous, and luscious, as you can see behind. But Switzerland is even nicer. So if you think this picture looks nice, this has nothing on Switzerland. Nothing on Switzerland. Switzerland is probably one of the best places I've ever ridden a bike, and I just can't wait to go back there again. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of this. Thanks for joining me. It's now 12:30. I can't believe how long I've been here, and I'm gonna be probably getting up in a few hours to do my workouts and my strength training. So gotta get strong. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you get weaker. You only get weak if you think weak and you stay weak. But no, we're not doing that. We're getting older and stronger. But anyway, thank you folks for once again, this is Innis Luby Say With Your Legs Media Cycling Talk live on Fridays. Who's going to be here next week? Talking to Imani, because he's working. We're going to have to work something out with his boss. Your boss man. I know it's track. I know it's a big bike shop. But yeah, we need Imani right now. So we're going to work on that. And with that, before I yawn again, I'm going to be out of here. So let's get my intro, outro. So I'm probably gonna Your Legs Media. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We got lots of stuff coming up.